Good afternoon. We'll try to, as I was doing the reflecting as Tricia was giving her speech, I thought we've talked a little bit about AI. It'll be really much more relaxing in a couple of years. We'll be able to write the speech and then have a hologram and AI present everything um, we'll shortly begin the award ceremony, followed by the luncheon. I know everybody's eager for lunch, which will be served right after the presentation of awards. We talked a lot about this morning about Academy leadership through recent and planned activities. We're well positioned for the future with a very capable new president, Tricia Matson, at the helm. The Academy will stay attuned to what's going on inside and outside the profession and in Washington and the states, guided by strategic planning and thoughtful execution. But before we dive into the future completely, we have a moment to reflect on and acknowledge some of the people who, in different ways, have made an unforgettable mark and have paved the way for that future. Our summit concludes by getting to know some of the most talented and accomplished individuals in our diverse and vibrant community. This year's award recipients include emerging, current, and future leaders, promising actuaries who will receive this year's Rising Actuary Awards, an innovative research whose academic research meaningfully contributes to a key topic in actuarial and regulatory dialogues, outstanding Academy volunteers who've led the way in advancing the actuarial perspective in public policy and professionalism dialogues here in Washington and across the country, and then two outstanding and dedicated actuaries receiving the Academy's highest awards for their wide efforts and contributions through the Academy and public service over a period of time. Let's begin with the Rising Actuary Awards. Young actuarial leaders represent the future of our actuarial profession, bringing innovation, new perspectives and skills, an embrace of leadership roles to guide it into the future. They are essential to the continuing success and growth of the U.S. actuarial profession and the Academy. The Academy established the Rising Actuary Awards a few years ago to encourage development and emergence of actuarial leaders and to recognize those leaders. This morning, I have the pleasure to recognize our fourth class of recipients, 7 exceptional actuaries who are blazing new paths with professionalism and a commitment to lead our profession. Each of them has inspired the people around them within the Academy and in corporate, social, professional, and other nonprofit roles. Now, I'll individually call the recipients to the stage to accept their award certificates, and please hold your applause until after I've recognized all 7 recipients. So, got slides coming? Okay, sorry. Caitlin Creighton. Caitlin Creighton. I think the stairs are over here, sorry. Wow. Yep. Timothy Koenig. That's right. Andrew LaRoque. Gigi Lee. Scott McCord. Oops. Harrison Smith. And Xing Wang. Congratulations to all of our Rising Actuary Award recipients. In just over a week, everyone will have an opportunity to learn more about all the rising actuaries in a December 31st contingencies web exclusive at actuary.org. So we'll have a profile of each of the recipients. We look forward to hearing more about their accomplishments as they continue their leadership journey. Many of their stories already include important contributions to the Academy's public policy work. That work provides an essential service to the public by informing those who craft public policy and regulation with the unique and essential perspective of our profession. It also helps demonstrate the value of that perspective to the wider world. The actuarial perspective is vital for public policy makers as they consider new solutions and approaches to public policy challenges. That makes it a special pleasure this morning to present the Academy's third award for research. The award, developed by our research committee, provides recognition of outstanding research done by a scholar early in their career who's contributed to the actuarial perspective on a public policy theme identified by the Academy. The award theme this year was bias in addressing financial risk, origins, detection, mitigation. In July, the research committee chairperson, Grace Ladiak, had the pleasure of recognizing Ji Shen as this year's award recipient at the Actuarial Research Conference in Toronto. I was pleased to be there also. It's my pleasure now to recognize him once again this afternoon as co-author of a research published last year in the North American Actuarial Journal titled Anti-Discrimination Insurance Pricing, Regulation, Fairness Criteria, and Models. Based in Australia, Ji was not able to join us in person. We did arrange for him to share video remarks, which we will show momentarily. But related to the awards theme, Ji's research proposed actuarial approaches in an area of heightened regulatory interest worldwide, indirect discrimination. His research made a compelling contribution and one that highlights the essential actuarial role in current dialogues about this topic among regulators, actuaries, and other stakeholders. The Academy and its research committee hope that having the award will also encourage and inspire others to pursue research at the intersection of actuarial practice and public policy. The award comes with a $7,500 honorarium. Now let's hopefully hear from Ji.
Hello, everyone. It's a real honor to join you from afar, and I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the American Academy of Actuaries for this tremendous recognition. My name is Xi Xin. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia. I'm truly delighted and deeply grateful to accept the 2025 Academy Award for Research. Thank you to the Research Committee and to the academic community for recognizing our work. I especially want to thank my co-author and supervisor, Associate Professor Fei Wang, for her invaluable guidelines on this project and for her ongoing support and encouragement throughout my PhD journey. Our paper, Anti-Discrimination Insurance Pricing, Regulations, Fairness Criteria, and Models, published in the North American Actuarial Journal, addresses a very practical question. As insurance uses large data sets and more advanced models, how do we ensure that the pricing remains fair? In this paper, we connect three elements that are often discussed separately: emerging anti-discrimination regulations, fairness criteria from machine learning, and practical actuarial models. Concretely, we translate and adopt several fairness notions into a regression pricing setting and map them to levels of existing and potential anti-discrimination regulations. We implement a family of pricing approaches alongside standard actuarial performance metrics, examine the fairness accuracy trade-off, and discuss implications for both adverse selection and solidarity. Our research demonstrates that there is no single fair answer. In practice, each criterion, model, and regulator approach involves trade-off between statistical accuracy, customers' equity, and market stability. Our goal is to provide regulators and actuaries with a manual of options for evaluating and managing these trade-offs in complex real-world applications. We feel especially honored that our work aligns so closely with this year's theme, Understanding and Mitigating Bias in Financial Risk Assessment, and was judged to make a notable contribution to the actuarial professionals' perspective. It's a real privilege to have our research recognized in this context, especially at a time when fairness and transparency in data-driven decision-making are more important than ever. Finally, I want to express my sincere thanks again to the Academy, to my supervisors, Faye and Giles, to our colleagues and mentors, and to my family and friends for their encouragement. This recognition inspires me, and I hope others to continue pursuing research that is rigorous, practical, and useful to society. Thank you again for this honor, and look forward to continued collaboration between researchers, professionals, industrial, and regulators in the years ahead. Thank you.
Be sure to stay tuned to the Academy channels for news about the topic and opening of nomination for next year's award for research. The Academy is proud to make broader audience aware of valuable research like GEES through forums like this summit. This afternoon's celebration also recognizes outstanding service within our diverse cross-practice core of more than 1,000 volunteers, which we can't all invite up to the stage. Academy volunteers engage in countless meetings, calls, writing and presenting opportunities, and other activities to support our mission. They include some standouts, receiving our 2025 Outstanding Volunteerism Award, which recognizes members who have excelled in their volunteer service to the Academy in the past year. It's a privilege to recognize 4 of them today. The first Outstanding Volunteerism Award recipient is Mark Altschul. Mark truly impressed this year with his contributions as chairperson of the Investment Analysis Subcommittee. Mark ushered that subcommittee's work masterfully and was instrumental to the creation and development of the Academy's inaugural Insurance Investment Summit. He dedicated countless hours to developing strategic objectives, coordinating the program agenda, recruiting speakers and sponsors, and guiding both the subcommittee and Academy's Education and Events Department. The results far exceeded expectations, with a highly successful summit that established the foundation for future summits. Planning for the second Insurance Investment Summit in 2026 is already underway. On behalf of the Academy, congratulations to Mark on this well-deserved award. And Mark, please join me on the stage to accept the award. Congratulations and thank you so much. Our second Outstanding Volunteerism Award recipient is Tyson Moore. Over the past year, Tyson showed us what unwavering dedication as a volunteer means. He led the way as vice chairperson of the Property and Casualty Equity and Fairness Committee, with focus on and depth on issues of equity and fairness. Among his many contributions, he actively participated in NAIC subgroups and provided valuable input on critical bias and fairness in issues of insurance. He worked to develop bias surveys to better understand actuarial perspectives, participated in working groups to provide feedback on ASOP exposure drafts, and contributed to market conduct evaluations. On behalf of the Academy, congratulations to Tyson on earning recognition with this award. And Tyson, please join me on the stage to accept the award. Our third Outstanding Volunteerism Award recipient is Derek Skoog. Derek's service to the Academy was marked by excellence and accomplishment. As chairperson of the Medicare Committee, he stewarded the team that produced our well-regarded annual analysis of Medicare's financial condition. But his service went well beyond that. Also chairing the Health Solvency Committee's Health Underwriting Risk Factors Analysis Work Group, short name, but he brought a very long and intense project critical to health insurance regulators to a fruitful conclusion. In April, the H2 underwriting risk component and managed care credit calculation in the Health Risk-Based Capital Formula report he spearheaded was published. This was a significant multi-year effort in response to an NAIC working group's request. And even more, Derek served on multiple other committees as well. Derek's not here today, but on behalf of the Academy, we should recognize him for the award. And then our fourth and final Outstanding Volunteerism Award recipient is Claire Wolkoff. Claire became known as an astute and impactful volunteer leader who is committed to developing and encouraging others. Her work spanned multiple Academy committees and projects, including serving as chairperson of the Retirement Policy and Design Evaluation Committee. In this role, she led significant policy papers, including improving retirement outcomes, and co-led the recent paper on gig workers' retirement needs. Her inclusive leadership style, dedication to mentoring new volunteers, and representation of the profession and the Academy at venues like Columbia University exemplify outstanding volunteer service. On behalf of the Academy, congratulations to Claire on earning recognition with this award. And Claire, please join me on the stage to accept the award.
And that's the fire there. Fire there.
Patient.
There we go. You talk fast. Entrance looking good.
And congratulations again to all of our Outstanding Volunteerism Award recipients. With their service examples in mind, it's my final privilege this afternoon to recognize two members with the Academy's highest service awards. One to an Academy volunteer for his contributions to the profession and the Academy, and the other to an actuary in public service. First, the Jarvis Farley Service Award. The Farley Award, inaugurated in 1991, honors the memory of a cherished namesake in the annals of Academy history. Jarvis Farley was a charter member of the Academy, so 60 years ago, and an invaluable resource for Academy staff and the entire actuarial profession. He was an untiring Academy volunteer whose work greatly benefited the profession. The Farley Award specifically honors actuaries whose volunteer efforts on behalf of the Academy have made significant contributions to the advancement of the profession. The recipients of this award over many years have all demonstrated an extraordinarily high caliber of service to the Academy and the profession. It's my distinguished pleasure to recognize a member of the Academy whose volunteer spirit truly captures the essence of this award's purpose. This year, the Jarvis Farley Award is presented to one of the Academy's most steadfast, and longest-serving volunteers. Raid Muselin. Through more than 25 years of dedicated volunteer service to the Academy, Raid's prolific contributions have had a profound impact on his colleagues and public policy stakeholders, and that impact has been felt in the United States and around the world. Raid's service accomplishments are innumerable, but many have been in the areas of climate change, extreme events, government relations, and communications. His highly respected work has focused on advancing knowledge and public acceptance of hurricane and catastrophe models, and tireless efforts to broaden the property casualty conversation to include climate risk, cyber risk, and sustainability. Raid also served as the Academy's Vice President of Casualty from 2016 to 2018. The many Academy committees and work groups he served on include the Flood Insurance Work Group as chairperson, PC Extreme Events and Property Lines Committee, and the Terrorism Work Insurance Subcommittee. He also led the establishment of the Academy's media training program, which continues to this day and supports awareness of the value of actuarial expertise to people everywhere. Many of you in this room have probably been through the training program and not sure whether to thank him or blame him, but through all these efforts and more, Raid demonstrated unwavering dedication to advancing our profession through service. It may come as no surprise that such a dedicated individual cannot be with us today. Raid's hard at work chairing a climate group in Morocco, but he asked us to share this message with you.
Dear friends, I'm sorry that this ceremony happens to occur on a day this fall that I cannot attend personally. I'm in Morocco at an international actuarial meeting, chairing a session on climate and sustainability as a volunteer, as one would expect from someone receiving a volunteer award. Thus, I'm on video, but I wanted to appear to say thank you and reflect on the tremendous honor that the Academy has bestowed upon me. The Farley Award celebrates individuals who, like Jarvis Farley himself, have advanced the profession through integrity, leadership, and a deep commitment to its development and public purpose. As I reflect on my many years of serving our profession through the Academy and our partner organizations like the CAS, SOA, and Australian Institute, I've realized how critical volunteer work has been to success in both my professional and personal life. I began my Academy journey as a member and chair of what we jokingly referred to as the oxymorons, the Actuarial Communications Committee. In the late 1990s, the profession was not known for its communication skills. I helped advance us down that road a bit, including starting our successful media training program for leadership, which continues today. While that committee is retired, communication continues to be a core part of the Academy's mission. Echoing what last year's Academy President Lisa Slosnick said in her final presidential remarks, I like to say we translate Greek into English for our stakeholders. I have 3 points to share with you. First, volunteer work with the Academy and other actuarial organizations has kept me at the cutting edge of emerging practice areas. My career has been spent at the tail of the distribution in non-traditional actuarial work. That includes being an early adopter of catastrophe modeling, contributing to government insurance programs across the world to address availability and affordability challenges, tackling emerging risks like terrorism and cyber, advocating for stronger building codes to support community resilience, helping to develop standards in new areas, and most recently, increasing the profession's profile in climate and sustainability. Serving on volunteer committees meant thinking about how to solve emerging problems well before there was a lot of paid work doing so. That put me in a position, for example, to now work as a leading global climate risk expert in Australia. I have also had the honor of being the first actuary to officially represent the profession at the United Nations Annual Climate Conference, known as the Conference of Parties, or COP, having attended the last 3 meetings. Second, Volunteer work has allowed me to give back to the profession that has given me so much. Some of my proudest moments have involved helping many younger actuaries build their careers. And third, serving the profession through the academy has allowed me to meet some of the best and brightest people in the world. The Jarvis Farley Award is about lifetime service, but with a commitment to serving the public and humility about the responsibility that confers upon its recipients. Its recipients have made a lasting contribution to the profession, and it is humbling to now be seen as worthy of joining that elite group. Winning an award like this is rarely about the person whose name goes on the plaque. It reflects three things. One is the countless other volunteers who the recipient has served with, whom collectively have made a difference to the profession. Another is the employers with the foresight to see the benefit of volunteer work, like my current firm, Finity. And finally, there is the family that supports the volunteer. In my case, my wife Bronwyn and children Quinn and Bailey have had to endure innumerable wee-hour Zoom calls, watching me write monographs or issue briefs on trips, and generally dealing with me doing a lot of unpaid work. Many thanks to all these cohorts. Service is special. Dishonor is priceless. Have a great meeting, and I hope to see many of you in person soon.
For those of you that are curious, this is Raid's award, if he shows up to pick it up. We've got one final award presentation before lunch. The Academy established the Robert J. Myers Award for Public Service in 1994 to honor an actuary who has distinguished themselves through many years of service to the public good. The award is named after Robert Myers to honor his lifelong commitment to public service. Bob Myers was the chief actuary for the Social Security Administration from 1947 to 1970, 23 years, and helped to structure and monitor funding of the largest social insurance program in our nation's history. Bob was also president of the Academy in 1971. Each year, the Myers Award is presented to an actuary who has made major contributions to the common good through service to government and other public organizations. This year's awardee is Dave Gustafson, the 31st recipient of the award. Dave's journey in public service is a testament to the good that actuaries can do through such service. Over the course of an extraordinary 4-decade career, he was a genuine stalwart dedicated to protecting the nation's defined benefit retirement system. You could say he defined what being a trusted advisor means in the role of a public service actuary, until he retired as the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation's chief policy actuary in 2021. Throughout his public service journey, Dave was widely sought after, bringing a lamp so others could see the value of actuarial expertise. That journey included innumerable projects and roles on which Dave showed expertise, professionalism, and results. Among those, he provided insights to the Department of Defense on military compensation reforms. He provided leadership at the Treasury Department in evaluating distressed multi-employer pension funds. He also gave back to the profession in numerous Academy volunteer roles, including the Retirement Practice Council, on what was then the Council on Professionalism, and on the Actuarial Standards Board. Dave's impactful service and its profound and lasting effects spoke volumes when it came time to deciding on who should receive this year's Myers Award. And that is why it is now my honor to recognize and welcome to the stage our 2025 Robert J. Myers Award recipient, Dave Gustafson, to receive the award on behalf of the Academy.
Well, my first word is wow. How could I be here? But I was a little bit late, and I apologize for that. A little bit late because our son and daughter came down from New York City to be with us this morning, and we just didn't stop talking. So, okay. What an honor. It's hard to know where to begin to share with you the incredible journey that I've been on as an actuary, how I came to be a public servant, and how volunteering for the Academy was a most important part of my journey. I grew up in Morrison, Illinois, a town of 3,000 people near the Mississippi River. College for me and for my younger sister and brother was at the University of Illinois, where my freshman class was larger than my hometown. That's where I first learned what an actuary was, and that then led me to the University of Michigan Business School and their master's degree program in actuarial sciences. And what a program it was. My primary instructors were the authors of the book Actuarial Mathematics, that is, Professors Bowers, Gerber, Hickman, Jones, and Nesbitt. I was totally hooked. But public service was not yet on my mind. After graduating, I worked briefly at an insurance company and subsequently at a small consulting firm in Washington, D.C., with increasing international commitments. A memorable consulting experience, but also too much time away from home. My wonderful spouse, Marlene, right over here, was at the time embarking on a new career as a special education teacher as well. So we decided to explore opportunities more suitable for starting our family, who's also over here. Unfortunately, an opportunity to become an actuarial supervisor at PBGC opened up, and I was selected for the position by Robert Nagel, the PBGC's executive director. It was a great fit that lasted for more than 40 years. Wow. Once I started, I never stopped being inspired by the potential good I could do and our profession does in public service. During that time, I have worked with an exceptional staff of actuaries, attorneys, and economists as the director of the Policy Research and Analysis Department. We developed many amendments to ERISA, especially in the area of strengthening the minimum funding rules for single employer plans. We also were pioneers in developing microsimulation models that guided our decisions on how to improve the laws and the rules to protect the value of participants' retirement benefits. And when required, we testified in bankruptcy proceedings to support the PBGC's claims for full recovery of our statutory employer liability. And my position at the PBGC afforded me the opportunity to become involved in the great work of the Academy. Over the years, I served as a member of the Academy's Pension Committee, the Lifetime Income Risk Joint Committee, the Social Insurance Committee, and the Actuarial Public Service Committee, which I chaired, and for 2 6-year terms, the Pension Committee of the Actuarial Standards Board. Valuable service to the public comes in many forms, including contributing to the Academy's informative and widely shared work. I encourage all actuaries to dip their toes into the bigger pond of how their expertise can serve the greater good in whatever form that may take. You may not become a public servant like me, but you will do good and be a better actuary for it. PBGC also supported me in spending a thoroughly enjoyable and rewarding year as the American Political Science Association Congressional Fellow. I worked on pension and insurance legislation on the staff of Senator Dave Durenberger of Minnesota, who at the time was a member of both the Senate Finance Committee and the Senate Help Committee. Another service opportunity for actuaries to consider. And finally, I was fortunate enough to become involved in international consulting for several countries through multi-year USAID projects to improve their retirement security systems. Another of my most rewarding experiences was at PBGC's representation to the International Pension and Solvency Insurers Association. In other words, the PBGCs of the world in Sweden and Finland and Germany and the UK and Japan. Wow, what an experience. Ultimately, the UK's Pension Protection Fund became a member of this group after it was established in the Pensions Act of 2004. Several of us from PBGC spent much time in the UK providing them guidance on implementing the provisions of the Pension Protection Act and the newly created pensions regulator. And finally, in 2018, my good friend and mentor, Mark Avery, asked me to join Treasury staff to help with the implementation and administration of the Multi-Employer Pension Reform Act of 2014. MERPA included provision that the reduction in benefits to plan participants must result in a plan being projected to remain solvent for 30 years. In conjunction with PBGC actuaries, we found that the assumptions made by most plan applicants about the future were overly optimistic and that we could not certify to the Treasury Secretary that the projections would result in their solvency for 30 years. After a brief return to PBGC, Marlene and I decided to retire in 2021. So here we are. Marlene and I are joined today by our son, Colin, and our daughter, Anne Marie, who just traveled down from New York City this morning, and we just started talking and we lost track of time. I thank them too for their invaluable support today and over the course of my journey. Thanks again for this great honor. I hope that my words might encourage those who have not already done so to dip their toe in the very rewarding pond of public service. Thank you.
I'm struck by both Dave's and Raid's comments about the importance of, either volunteerism or public service as enriching the actuarial profession. And I'd echo that as just something that's, been very important to me as part of my career. Thanks, Dave, and congratulations again. Your leadership in public service to the profession is inspiring all of us, and especially to the actuaries who either are or may be considering public service. On that note, I want to thank everyone for attending today's summit, all who performed and lead the Academy's important work year-round. I hope that you gained insights into the Academy's leadership and how we will continue to show the Academy's commitment to the public, the profession, and to our members in 2026. You'll be able to revisit those insights soon with recordings from today's programs that will be posted on the Academy's educational portal, Academy Learning. As Tricia said, another, self-grandizing announcement. I encourage each of you to lead into your roles as Academy members and volunteers as you process the takeaways from today's summit. I hope to see many of you soon on Academy webinars, at our Hill visits in the spring, and throughout 2026. To include, enjoy the lunch, safe travels home, happy Thanksgiving to you and your loved ones, and God bless.